Hello, this is Michael with Manhattan Rare Books, and what we have for you today is The Life of Ernest Hemingway in pictures. It's an extraordinary collection of over 100 photos, I counted 113, from the archives of Worldwide Photos, as we see here. And Worldwide Photos supplied photos to the press. I mean, yes, it's a collection of one of America's most important writers, but with Hemingway, it becomes something much more interesting. You see, Hemingway's career coincided with the rise of photojournalism, and boy, was that a perfect match. Hemingway wasn't just a writer, of course, he was a celebrity, and his celebrity status was developed and cultivated through his relationship with the press. And the press covered everything he did. Let's go through the collection to see what I mean. Look at this. It's like a glamour shot of a writer. And, oh, the photos have these type stubs. I guess they're suggested captions that Worldwide Photos put, but they don't affect the photo. They're just kind of curled around. As I mentioned, each photo has the credit on the back. So here it is. Ernest Hemingway, author of A Farewell to Arms, published by Charles Scribner's Sons. We get to see everything. Hemingway hanging out. This close-up of Ernest Hemingway, the famous novelist, with glasses hanging from one ear. I guess that's news. But he does more exotic things shortly. Hunting, of course. Look at this. This is a beautiful shot of Hemingway writing. It makes writing sound like an adventurous activity. Ernest Hemingway working on For Whom the Bell Tolls at Sun Valley Lodge, Idaho. Look at that sky. This is, I mean, Hemingway writing becomes this, outdoor macho act in Hemingway's world. More hunting. Another beautiful picture of him writing. Outdoors again. Hemingway, this is a rare shot with his kids. Really beautiful shot of Martha Gellhorn. As we go through, as I mentioned, photojournalism is becoming a big thing at the time, and they're covering Hemingway. This is a great shot. Ernest Hemingway, American novelist, now a war correspondent, talks with his pilot. So the whole myth of Hemingway is forming through his relationship with the media. Let's go through a few more war correspondents, who he's hanging out with. I mean, in a way, we see here, the press was obsessed with Hemingway. Well, you can also argue that he was obsessed with the press. And how they covered him reveals quite a bit about the context of his writing and also the values of the time. Here we go. His trip to Africa. Oh, there's a lot here about, yeah, the plane crash where people thought he was dead. That was huge news. Yeah, Hemingway has to be a big tough guy because he denies being hospitalized. Let me even comment that he's shown without his beard for the first time. It's an interesting shot. Really interesting shot. Oh, this is a good one too. Well, the caption makes this shot. His bell almost tolled. Author Ernest Hemingway, who almost lost his life in 2 African plane crashes this spring, looks over X-ray negative of his injured back during current convalescent stay in Madrid. Hemingway revealed the extent of his injuries after visiting Spain with his wife to see the bullfights. So he has to prove that he's still out there going to bullfights. This was published after he died. Life was exciting and full of adventure for author Ernest Hemingway and his wife. Of course, they have a lot about his death in here. Nobel Prize, of course. Look at this. Advanced for use with Stockholm Story, release of which is expected. It's like you're watching history happen as you're going through the photos. Let me go through them. There's so many. Fishing, of course. There's a good one of Castro here, a famous one. You've probably seen before. Oh, that's a great shot. There are some duplicates. This one was used in the New York Times obituary. There we go. And because of the press, he became Papa Hemingway. Through the images and stories, and I mean, it looks like Papa Hemingway here. Through images and stories, people felt they actually knew him. Here's the Castro shot. Author Ernest Hemingway, who lived off and on in Cuba, is shown with Cuban Prime Minister Fidel Castro in Havana, May 15th, 1960. Hemingway's wife reported July 2nd that he accidentally shot and killed himself while cleaning a gun in Sun Valley, Idaho. Notice the press covered it as accidentally at the time. Okay, just a few more. Beautiful, beautiful photos. Oh, I like that one too. And there's this funeral, children mourning, then his house afterwards, including, for those cat fans out there, there's one here somewhere. Aha! Key West, Florida. Cats live in luxury. When Ernest Hemingway died, his house was sold to Bernice Dixon. Included with the house was 41 cats that Hemingway kept, and Mrs. Dixon has continued to keep around. Okay. And this coverage of Hemingway, it was sort of the start of our modern celebrity culture. It's not a stretch to say that Hemingway, in today's terms, was one of 20th century's first major influencers. There you go. There's the collection. Thanks, and please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions.